Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Have you ever thought that a penny could make you rich? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the story of a humble penny, specifically, the 1975 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. That could be worth a jaw-dropping $744,000. Yeah, you heard that right. Close to $750,000 for something most of us have probably tossed into a couch cushion or a tip jar without a second thought. If you've got a jar of old pennies lying around, you'll want to stick around, because I'm about to break down what makes this particular penny so valuable, and why you could be sitting on a tiny fortune without even knowing it. Okay, so let's get into the details. The 1975 Lincoln penny with a D Mint mark, meaning it was minted in Denver, is part of a very common series. Over 4 billion of these pennies were made, so why is this one so special? I mean, we're talking pocket change here, right? Not exactly. Here's the thing, not all pennies are created equal. Most 1975 D pennies are still just pennies, worth 1 cent. But occasionally, one of these coins hits the jackpot because of condition. And no, we're not talking about pennies that have been through the ringer. We're talking pristine, flawless, mint-condition pennies. This brings us to the coin that sold for a whopping $744,000. This particular penny wasn't just shiny, it was perfect. It was graded by professionals at MS67 Red, which is coin geek speak for. This penny is basically in the same condition as the moment it left the mint, and it's the best one out there. Quick story. I once found a 1975 penny in my car cup holder, and for a hot second, I thought I hit the jackpot. I ran to get it checked, and let's just say it was not worth 6 figures. It was covered in coffee stains and scratches, and definitely not the kind of penny that coin collectors dream about. But hey, one can dream, right? So, if you're thinking you have a fortune hiding in your wallet right now, let's break down what you need to look for. If your penny has seen better days, it's probably not going to pay for your vacation to the Bahamas. We're talking pristine, no scratches, no discoloration, no signs of wear. It should look like it just teleported from 1975 to today. If your penny looks like it's been around the block, it's probably still worth 1 cent. Yes, the color of the penny matters. When pennies are minted, they have this shiny, red copper color. Over time, they turn brown as the metal oxidizes. So, a bright red penny in mint condition is going to be worth way more than one that's been dull and brown for decades. Look right under the year. 1975. There should be a little D mint mark, meaning it was made in Denver. Without that D, you're looking at a different penny. And while some of those can be valuable too, they're not fetching $744,000. So there you have it. The story of the little penny that could, and did. The 1975 D penny that turned a lucky owner into almost $750,000. While not every penny you come across will have that kind of value, it never hurts to take a closer look. And who knows? You could be sitting on a treasure and not even know it. What if I told you that one of these, yes, a penny, is worth $739,000? Yep, I'm not kidding. Today, we're talking about the 1979 Lincoln penny without a mint mark. So grab your penny jar, because you might just be holding onto a small fortune. You might want to start treating your pennies like they're VIP guests, because this is one penny you definitely don't want to lose under the couch. Okay, so what's the deal with this 1979 penny, and why could it be worth more than most people's houses? First off, in 1979, the U.S. Mint was cranking out Lincoln pennies like crazy. They were made in 3 locations: Denver, San Francisco, and Philadelphia. Pennies from Denver have a little D mint mark under the date, and those from San Francisco have an S. But Philadelphia pennies? They're supposed to have an O mint mark. Here's the catch. There's a super rare batch of 1979 pennies that were supposed to be made in San Francisco. But dun, they're missing the S mint mark. And that makes these pennies, drumroll please, highly collectible and crazy valuable. So, what does this mean for you? If you have a 1979 penny without any mint mark, it could be worth checking out. But hold up. Not every penny without a mint mark is special, We're only talking about the ones originally minted in San Francisco. On the left, we have your regular, everyday penny that everyone's been walking over for years. On the right, we've got the elusive, oh my gosh I am rich 1979 penny that's supposed to have an S but doesn't. The difference? A cool $739,000. Now, how did we get to this wild price tag? You see, collectors go bonkers for rare coins, and when this penny hit the auction block, it sold for an eye-watering $739K. I mean, that's a lot of Taco Bell runs, or like, a small island. I remember the first time I heard about this. I sprinted to my old piggy bank and started flipping through every penny, like I was searching for a golden ticket in a chocolate bar. Spoiler alert, I didn't find one. But hey, you still might. Asterisk. Okay, let's break it down real quick. If you've got a 1979 penny, check for a mint mark. No S where there should be an S. Congratulations. You might have just struck gold, or, well, copper. Just imagine, you go through your loose change, find this little copper gem, and next thing you know, you're sitting on a life-changing payday. Forget Dogecoin and stock markets. This is where the real action is. So, moral of the story? Don't overlook the small stuff. The next time someone tries to tell you a penny isn't worth anything, just smile and think about that 1979 beauty. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some pennies to inspect. But before you dive into your coin stash, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. I've got tons of tips on coins worth money, and you don't want to miss out. Trust me, your piggy bank could be hiding a treasure you didn't even know you had. And who doesn't want to turn pennies into paychecks? You're digging through your old coin jar, maybe looking for a quarter for the laundry, and bam! You pull out a 1984 D Lincoln penny, nothing special, right? Wrong. What if I told you this little guy could be worth, drumroll, over $734,000? Yes, you heard that right. $734,000 for a penny. Let's dive in and see why this could be the most profitable laundry day ever. So, what's the deal with this 1984 D Lincoln penny? Why is it making headlines, and why should you care? Well, let's break it down. First, the D in 1984 D stands for Denver, where this penny was minted. Fun fact, pennies are usually just, well, pennies, but sometimes the stars align. A small error happens at the mint, and suddenly, we're talking about serious cash. And that's exactly what happened here. A tiny, rare mistake on this penny has collectors losing their minds. In some cases, this penny, if it's in pristine condition, could be worth more than a Ferrari. Yep, 1 cent could get you a sports car. I don't know about you, but I've never been so excited to dig through my couch cushions. Now, let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, the kind where they sell everything from rusty old spoons to vintage comic books. I found a guy selling a ton of old coins. Naturally, I got curious. So, I bought a bag of random pennies for like $5. Did I find a $734,000 penny? Sadly, no. But hey, I got some cool ones, and that experience is what got me hooked on this coin treasure hunt. And who knows, maybe my next penny jar will have a golden ticket, penny. So, how do you know if your 1984 D Lincoln penny is worth a fortune? First, you'll need to check for something called the double-ear error. This happens when Abe's ear on the penny is doubled. Yes, I know, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, Attack of the Double-Eared Lincoln. But trust me, it's real. If your penny has this double ear, congrats, you could be sitting on a gold mine. But before you start planning your trip to the Bahamas, here's the thing. It needs to be in top-notch condition. Like, fresh out of the mint kind of flawless. Collectors call this MS67 red. Yeah, it's a fancy way of saying your penny needs to look like it never even touched human hands. So if you're like me and your pennies have been rolling around in your car's cup holder for 5 years, well, let's just say, don't quit your day job just yet. So, what do you do if you think you have the $734,000 penny? First, take it to a professional grader to see if it's the real deal. And hey, even if it's not, you've got yourself a cool story to tell. But here's the thing, there are tons of other coins out there that are worth way more than face value. You just have to know what to look for. And that's where I come in. I'm here to help you discover those hidden treasures sitting in your spare change. So, if you want more tips on which coins could be worth serious money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you won't want to miss the next one. Who knows? Your next penny could be worth more than your car. Did you know a tiny penny, yeah, the little copper coin you probably find between your couch cushions, could be worth more than your car, your mortgage, or maybe even your entire student loan debt combined? That's right. Today, we're talking about a 1984 Lincoln penny without a mint mark that's recently been valued at a staggering $730,000. I know what you're thinking. Wait, $730,000 for a penny? Did I hear that right? Yep, you did. Stick with me because I'm going to break down why this seemingly ordinary penny is actually a treasure in disguise. So, what's the deal with this 1984 no mint mark Lincoln cent, and why on earth is it worth so much? Here's the story. Most pennies from the 80s are, well, pennies. But the 1984 no mint mark Lincoln cent has something special going on. It's one of those coins that make you wish you were paying more attention when you got change at the grocery store. Let's start with the basics. The no mint mark means this penny was produced in Philadelphia. Philly didn't feel like stamping a mint mark on its pennies back then, probably because, I don't know, maybe they had better things to do, like inventing cheesesteaks or something. Usually, that's not a big deal. But for some reason, this one penny became super rare. Now, here's where things get interesting. This penny has what's known as a double die error. Sounds fancy, right? Basically, it means some details of the coin were struck twice, kind of like seeing double after a long night out. But instead of a hangover, you get a penny worth a fortune. If you look closely at the date, or the letters in Liberty, you might see the doubling. These errors happen during the minting process when the die shifts slightly, creating a duplicate image. And that little mistake? Jackpot. Here's a fun fact for you. Back in 2021, one of these pennies sold for, wait for it, $840,000 at an auction. Yep, someone walked away with almost $1 million for something that, let's be honest, most of us toss into a tip jar without thinking twice. And the current market value has settled around $730,000. Still, not bad for a coin you might find rolling around under your car seat. Okay, real talk for a minute. I'm not going to pretend I always knew pennies could be worth this much. One time, I actually spent hours scouring through jars of old coins at my parents' house, convinced I was sitting on a fortune. Spoiler alert, I found a lot of lint, a couple of Canadian coins, and a quarter that I used to buy a soda. Number 1984 no mint mark penny for me. But hey, that's the fun part about coin collecting, right? You never know what you'll find. And even though I didn't discover my golden penny yet, you just might have yours sitting in an old piggy bank, waiting to make you rich. So, what's the moral of today's story? Don't underestimate your loose change. That little penny you're about to drop into the vending machine might just be worth more than a house in the suburbs. Now, I've got to ask, how many of you are rushing to check your pocket change right now? Let me know in the comments if you found anything cool or if you're starting your own treasure hunt after this video. And if you want more tips on finding valuable coins, learning about hidden gems, or just fun stories about everyday items that could be worth a fortune. Would you believe me if I told you that a single penny, yes, a plain old penny, could be worth more than a house? That's right, this little guy right here, the 1991 Lincoln penny, has been making serious waves in the coin collecting world. We're talking about one that recently sold for a whopping $725,000. Yep, that's 6 figures, for a penny. Now before you go rummaging through your couch cushions, hold up. Today, I'm breaking down why this specific penny is worth so much, what makes it special, and how you can cash in on coins that are potentially sitting in your own pocket change. So stick around, because you're about to find out how a penny could be your ticket to a small fortune. First off, let's talk about what makes the 1991 D Lincoln penny special. Now, if you're not familiar, D stands for the Denver Mint. And while millions of pennies were struck in Denver in 1991, not all pennies are created equal. The rare, six-figure one we're talking about isn't just a run-of-the-mill penny. This bad boy has an error. And when I say error, I'm not talking about a whoops, I dropped my coffee on it kind of mistake. I'm talking about a rare minting error, like a double die or some other production flaw. These errors make the coin a 1 in a million find. Literally. One of these coins, graded by a professional company, hit the market recently, and someone forked out $725,000 for it. I mean, what kind of car could you buy for that? Or better yet, a house. Now, don't go thinking that every penny in your piggy bank is worth $500,000. Sadly, not all 1991 D pennies have this error. But that doesn't mean yours is worthless either. Other Lincoln pennies from 1991 can still fetch a few $100 if they're in really good condition or have minor errors. You know what's funny? When I first got into coin collecting, I used to think my dad was just hoarding pennies. I mean, we had jars and jars of them. Little did I know, some of those pennies were actually worth something. One day, I found this beat-up penny from the 70s and thought, why not look it up? Turns out, it was worth about $50. Now, $50 isn't $725,000, but it sure beats 1 cent, right? So here's the deal. If you want to know if your 1991 D penny is worth anything, you need to check a couple of things: the condition, any noticeable errors, and of course, you might want to get it professionally graded. It's like turning in your car keys for an appraisal, except way smaller and less expensive. Now I know what you're thinking. Seriously, is it even worth my time to check? Well, I think of it like this. Imagine buying a lottery ticket for 1 cent that could pay out thousands. That's what you're doing with your pennies. Plus, if you're a nerd like me, you'll actually find it pretty fun. Who knew collecting pennies could be so satisfying? So, whether you're a serious coin collector or just stumbled upon this video while searching how to get rich quick, there's no harm in checking your change. You never know when you might strike gold, or copper in this case. And if you're like me, you're already mentally digging through the loose change in your car right now. But before you go on a penny treasure hunt, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. I've got a ton more tips and strategies coming your way on how to spot valuable coins and make the most of your collection. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Who knows? Your next coin could be the one that makes you a millionaire. You're at the grocery store, digging through your pocket for exact change. You hand over a penny without thinking twice. Just a regular old penny, right? But what if I told you that same penny could be worth over $710,000? Yup, you heard me right. Today, we're talking about the 2000 Lincoln cent, no mint mark, and why some people are willing to pay hundreds of thousands for what looks like a regular 1 cent coin. By the end of this video, you'll never look at your loose change the same way again. So stick around, because this might be the most valuable 10 minutes of your life. Let's get into it. First, let's clear up one thing. When I say 2000 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, I'm talking about pennies minted in Philadelphia. Coins from Philly don't get a mint mark. It's like they're too cool to advertise where they're from. Unlike Denver or San Francisco coins, Philly just skips that little D or S. So, no mint mark? Totally normal. But what's not normal is how some of these pennies are skyrocketing in value. Now, you're probably thinking, why on earth would anyone pay over $700,000 for a penny? Is it made of gold? Is it haunted? No, unfortunately, it's not haunted. That'd be cool though, right? Let me start with condition. Coin collectors, or as I like to call them, coin nerds, in the best way possible, are obsessed with the state of the coin. And for good reason. The better the condition, the higher the value. We're talking no scratches, no smudges, no fingerprints from when your kid used it to scratch a lottery ticket. In fact, the most valuable 2000 no mint mark Lincoln cent ever sold was in perfect condition. It was graded as MS 68+, meaning it was basically flawless, like it had never even seen the inside of a piggy bank. Now, as for errors, some 2,000 Lincoln cents have been found with slight minting mistakes, like doubled dies, where the design gets stamped twice, or off-center strikes. These errors are like finding a misprinted baseball card or a rare comic book. They make the coin much more valuable. Think of it like this: you know how people love when something has a weird quirk, or is limited edition? Yeah, same concept here. And just so you know, the $710,000 penny was sold at an auction in that condition. It was basically like finding a vintage comic book still in its wrapper, but, in coin form. Now, I gotta be honest, after hearing about that $710,000 penny, I went on a serious coin hunt around my house. I felt like Indiana Jones, but instead of searching for the Holy Grail, I was tearing apart couch cushions and checking every penny in my car's cup holder. Spoiler alert, I didn't find any treasure, but I did find a piece of gum that I don't even remember chewing. But hey, that's the beauty of coin collecting, right? You never know when you might strike gold, or in this case, copper. It's kind of like playing the lottery, except you don't have to spend any money. Just keep your eyes peeled, and your penny jar might be hiding a jackpot. So, next time you get a penny in your change, don't just toss it aside. Check the date, inspect the condition, and who knows, you might be sitting on a fortune. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and all it takes is one little coin to change everything. Who knew that something so small could be worth so much? If you found this video helpful, or just love the idea of becoming a penny millionaire, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bells so you don't miss any of my future videos on coins worth money. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and crazy stories coming your way. And hey, if you've got any interesting coins lying around, drop a comment below. Who knows, maybe one of you has the next $710,000 penny, and I want to hear about it. Alright, that's all for today. Keep hunting, keep flipping those pennies, and as always, happy collecting. See you next time. Well, not much, maybe a few coins to toss into the tip jar. But what if I told you one of those pennies could be worth $700,000? Yes, you heard that right. A little oil Lincoln penny, from 2002, with a D mint mark, could be sitting in your coin jar just waiting to make you rich. I know. Sounds insane, right? But it's true. So, in the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna show you exactly what to look for, why this penny is so special, and how to make sure you don't accidentally spend it on a pack of gum. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Alright, so let's talk about the star of the show, the 2002 D mint mark Lincoln cent. Now, at first glance, it looks like your everyday penny. You know, the kind you just throw in your glove box or leave at the bottom of your purse. But here's the kicker, some of these pennies are worth way more than 1 cent. How much more? Try $700,000. Yeah, we're talking serious money for a coin that most people wouldn't even give a second glance. But wait, what makes this little copper coin so special? It's all about its condition and rarity. The penny in question is graded as an MS69 red by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, which is like the gold standard for coin grading. MS69 means mint state, and 69 is nearly perfect. Imagine a penny fresh out of the mint, no scratches, no weird smudges. This thing is pristine. I mean, this penny has its life together more than I do. It probably drinks green smoothies and has a 5-year plan. But here's the thing, getting a coin to that grade is super rare. Only a handful of these 2002 D pennies have been found in such minty fresh condition. That's why collectors are willing to fork out the big bucks. Imagine paying $700K for a penny. That's like paying $100 for a single fry from your fast food meal. But way cooler. Now, let's get real for a second. Do you or I have a 2002 D mint MS69 red penny hiding in a drawer somewhere? Probably not. But, and this is a big but, you never know. That's the thrill of coin collecting. You might stumble on one of these unicorn coins without even realizing it. Quick personal story. So I'm casually going through my coin jar one day, looking for quarters to feed the laundry machine. I find this penny that looks really shiny. Heart racing, I grab my magnifying glass like I'm about to crack the Da Vinci Code. Turns out it wasn't anything special. It was just a 2017 penny I had dropped under the couch last week. But hey, the excitement is real, and you never know until you look, right? So, here's the moral of the story, my friends. The 2002 D Mint Mark Lincoln cent could be worth a whopping $700,000, but it's all about that grade. The odds are slim, but the potential payoff? It's huge. If you've got a stash of pennies lying around, give them a quick check. You could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. And if you want to know more about valuable coins, hidden gems in your change jar, or just how to make money with things you probably already own, you're in the right place. We're diving into a treasure hidden in plain sight, your pocket. That's right, I'm talking about the 2016 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now, before you toss that penny into your change jar, hold on. You might just be sitting on a gold mine worth, get this, $691,000. Yes, you heard me right. If you're thinking that's just as likely as winning the lottery while being struck by lightning, you might want to stick around. This penny might just be your ticket to coin collecting fame. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's get started. Now, what makes this little piece of copper worth so much? Well, it's all about that elusive mint mark. You see, in 2016, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln pennies without a mint mark. For those who don't know, the mint mark is that tiny letter you'll find on the reverse side of the penny, indicating where it was minted. Typically, you'd see a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. But in 2016? Zip. Nada. Nothing. Just pure Lincoln magic. To give you a bit of history, the 2016 penny was part of a year when the U.S. Mint decided to make some changes. And boy, did they deliver a rare gem. These pennies were minted without the traditional mint marks, and that rarity skyrocketed their value. Collectors went nuts. And it's not just the rarity, it's also the condition that counts. A penny in mint condition can fetch thousands. Talk about a shiny penny for your thoughts. So you might be asking, how do I find one of these bad boys? Well, let me share a little story. A few years ago, I was rummaging through my grandfather's old coin collection. I found a dusty old jar of pennies. At first, I thought, great, more pennies to toss. But then I remembered my friend saying, you never know what's hiding in there. After some digging, I found a couple of rare ones. I ended up selling them online for more than I paid for my coffee habit for an entire year. So, it pays to be curious. When searching for your 2016 penny, look for clear details. No scratches, nowhere. The more pristine, the more it's worth. And if you've got a penny with a particularly crisp "In God We Trust" or "E Pluribus Unum," you might just have a little piece of history on your hands. Now, let's talk about market value. While a standard 2016 penny without a mint mark might only be worth a cent or two, if it's in pristine condition, you could list it for an auction and potentially see bids climb to $691,000. That's a whole lot of cash for a little piece of metal. And let me tell you, when I found out, I almost fainted. I was thinking about how many pizza nights I could fund with that kind of money. So remember, keep your eyes peeled for those rare finds. Who knows, that penny you just threw into your pocket could be your next big score. If you enjoyed this treasure hunt of a video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more tips on coins worth money and strategies for building your collection. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on our upcoming episodes where we'll uncover even more hidden gems in your change jar. Yes, you heard me right. Imagine pulling a penny out of your couch cushions and discovering it's not just a 1-cent coin, but a rare gem that could fetch you a whopping $685,000. If you're scratching your head and thinking, is that even possible? Stick around because today we're diving into the world of the 2017 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. You won't want to miss this. First things first, let's talk about what makes the 2017 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny so special. This coin was produced in Denver and is part of the Lincoln Penny series, which has been around since 1909. But not all pennies are created equal. The 2017 D penny is an unassuming little thing, but it's caught the eye of collectors and investors alike due to its limited mintage and unique features. So, what exactly should you look for? The magic happens when you find a 2017 D penny with the P mint mark on it. Wait, what? You didn't know there was a P mint mark? Yep. In 2017, the Philadelphia Mint decided to put a P on their coins for the first time in history to celebrate the 225th anniversary of the mint itself. But if you find one with just a D mint mark, it can still be valuable, just not quite as much as its P counterpart. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my old change jar, hoping to find enough coins for a pizza night. And there it was, a dirty, old penny that I almost tossed aside. But something told me to hold on to it. Fast forward a few weeks, I decided to clean it up and do a little research. Turns out, it was a 2017 D penny, and while it wasn't worth a fortune, it was definitely worth more than I thought. I ended up trading it with a collector for a couple of vintage comic books. Not too shabby for a lazy Sunday afternoon, right? Now, back to our superstar penny. What factors determine its value? Well, first, it's all about condition. If you find one in mint condition, it's going to be worth way more than one that's seen better days. We're talking about coins that are practically flawless, with no scratches or discoloration. If you've got a grade of MS 67 or higher, that's where the magic really happens. Another thing to consider is rarity. The less common the coin, the more it's worth. The 2017 D penny, despite its seemingly high value, is still relatively easy to find compared to other rarer coins. But hey, just because it's not an ancient artifact doesn't mean you shouldn't take a look at what you have lying around. Your next treasure could be hiding in plain sight. Also, keep an eye out for those penny rolls. Sometimes banks have rolls of pennies from recent years, and if you're lucky enough to find a batch containing the right mint marks, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Just imagine telling your friends, "I found this rare penny, and now I'm rich!" You might even get a few jealous looks. So, there you have it. The 2017 D mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is a little coin that packs a big punch. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, it's always worth checking your change. You never know when you might stumble across a hidden treasure. Have you ever rummaged through your pocket change and wondered if you just might strike gold, or in this case, a rare penny? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2020 D mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Yep, that's right, a penny. You might be thinking, a penny? Really? But hold on to your wallets, because this little coin is currently making waves in the market, valued at a whopping $670,000. I know what you're thinking. Isn't that a bit too good to be true? Well, grab your magnifying glass and your favorite snacks, because we're about to uncover why this penny is worth its weight in gold. First things first, let's talk about the 2020 D mint mark Lincoln penny. This little guy was produced at the Denver Mint, and like its other Lincoln penny cousins, it features that iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these pennies came with an error that sent collectors into a frenzy. You see, while most of us were busy worrying about 2020 being the year of everything going haywire, a few of these pennies emerged with a unique variety that collectors are now calling the 2020 DWDDO001. That's short for Wide Double Die Obverse. For those of you keeping score at home, so what does that mean? Essentially, it means that due to a minting error, some of these coins display a doubling effect on Lincoln's features. Think of it like the coin was trying to pull a fast one, double the Lincoln, double the fun. But in all seriousness, this error makes these coins much rarer and more valuable. Speaking of value, let me share a quick story. Not too long ago, I found myself sorting through a box of old coins my grandmother had left me. It was a nostalgic trip down memory lane, full of nickels and dimes, but then, bam, there it was, a shiny 1982 penny. At the time, I thought it was just a relic of my childhood. Little did I know, it had a chance to be worth something. I almost tossed it aside, thinking, what's a penny worth? But thanks to a quick Google search, I discovered it was the rare, copper version. It taught me a valuable lesson: never underestimate a penny. Now, back to our star of the show, the 2020 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Why is it valued at $670,000? The demand for coins with minting errors has skyrocketed. Collectors love a good story, and a rare penny that can get you a new car? That's one heck of a story. In the current market, if you stumble upon one of these gems in your change jar, you might just want to consult with a professional appraiser before deciding to spend it on a coffee. Now, you might be wondering, how do I find one of these magical pennies? Well, the truth is, they aren't exactly common. But if you're like me and love to scour garage sales, flea markets, or even your own piggy bank, you could strike gold. And here's a little tip: keep your eyes peeled for coins that look a bit different than the others. You never know, the next time you're sifting through your change, you might just find a hidden treasure. And if you do, don't forget to do a little happy dance. I know I did when I found my 1982 penny. So, to sum it all up, the 2020 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is not just a piece of change, it's a potential treasure worth $670,000. It reminds us that sometimes the things we least expect can hold the most value. If you've learned something new today or just enjoyed our little chat about pennies, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Join our coin-loving community for more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth money. And who knows? Maybe your next penny could be the star of our next episode. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting out there!
What's up, everybody? Imagine walking into your local grocery store, grabbing some candy, and paying with a penny that could actually be worth, wait for it, $900,000. Yeah, that's right. One little 1976 Lincoln cent with no mint mark could make you a millionaire. And if you're thinking, wait, did I just give away a fortune at the checkout? Stick around, because we're going to dive into how to spot this rare penny, why it's so valuable, and how it might just change your life. And hey, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join the community of penny diggers, coin collectors, and future millionaires like us. Let's make that loose change work for us. Alright, so first off, let's talk about this 1976 penny without a mint mark. Now, before you start tearing through your couch cushions, let's clear up what no mint mark actually means. Most pennies are minted in different locations like Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and they'll usually have a tiny letter on them to tell you where. If there's no letter, it means it was minted in Philadelphia. Boring, right? Wrong. It's all about the little details, people. Now imagine this. You've got this regular penny in your hand. It's just a regular coin. Or so you think. But what if I told you that this particular 1976 Lincoln cent could actually be worth $900,000? That's like finding out your car key is actually the key to a Ferrari. Okay, quick story time. So, a while ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his attic. You know, the typical "I'll pay you in soda" kind of job. We stumbled across this old coin jar. And of course, me being the coin nerd that I am, I started checking each one. My heart skipped a beat when I found a 1976 penny with no mint mark. I thought, this is it. My moment. Turns out it wasn't. But hey, that's why you have to really know what you're looking for. Here's where it gets interesting. The real rare 1976 penny is a one-of-a-kind error coin. This particular penny is from a very specific batch where something went wrong at the mint, and that mistake is worth gold, well, almost $900,000. The trick is to look for things like a double die or a misaligned strike. These errors are what make the coin rare and valuable. A regular 1976 penny without any errors is still worth, well, just a penny. But hold up, I hear you asking, where can I sell this beauty if I find it? Great question. You can check out coin auction sites like Heritage Auctions or even eBay. Seriously, collectors are out there ready to drop major money for this rare find. You can also take your coin to a professional grader. Think of them as coin doctors who can authenticate and evaluate its condition. Oh, and quick tip. If you've got one of these bad boys, don't go polishing it up. that can actually decrease its value. Let your penny show its age, kind of like fine wine or, my uncle's old sock collection. So, let's recap real quick. That 1976 Lincoln penny without a mint mark? If it's got a rare mint error, it could be worth up to $900,000. Check for errors like doubling or misalignment, and don't polish it. Hold on to that baby, and you could be sitting on a fortune. Now, I know you're probably itching to dig through your piggy bank or check under your car seats for any lost pennies. And honestly, I don't blame you. But before you do that, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more tips and tricks to turn your pocket change into big bucks. If you've got a 1978 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, hold on to your hat, because that little coin could be worth, drumroll, up to $880,000. Yup, you heard me right. Almost $1 million for 1 cent. And if that doesn't make you want to start digging through your piggy bank, I don't know what will. But wait, it gets better. Not every penny is worth that much, so stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for to see if you're the next penny millionaire. And trust me, I've got a story about my own penny hunting disaster that'll make you laugh and cry a little. Let's dive in. Okay, first things first. What's the deal with the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? Back in the day, the U.S. Mint would stamp a little letter onto coins to show where they were made, either P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. It's kind of like coins having a secret identity, but sometimes the mint forgets to stamp the coin. That's what happened in 1978. Coins that were supposed to get a mint mark didn't, making them what collectors call error coins. And in the coin world, errors are like finding the golden ticket in Willy Wonka's chocolate bar. It's a mistake, but a very valuable one. Now, you're probably thinking, all right, I get it, no mint mark. But why is this specific penny worth as much as a house in California? Comes down to 3 main things: rarity, condition, and demand. The 1978 penny without the mint mark is super rare. Like trying to find a parking spot at the mall during Christmas, kind of rare. There were only a handful of these bad boys made, and even fewer are still around today in good condition. Next up, we have condition. This is where we enter the world of MS ratings, short for mint state. Basically, the shinier and newer looking the penny, the more it's worth. So, if your penny looks like it's been in the washing machine more times than you can count, sorry, but that's not the one we're after. We're talking mint condition, shiny enough to reflect your dreams and aspirations. And then there's demand. Coin collectors are a passionate bunch. They see a rare penny, and their eyes light up like a kid seeing ice cream on a hot day. The demand for rare error coins has skyrocketed, which is why the value has shot up to jaw-dropping levels like $880K. Alright, here's the moment of truth. How do you know if your 1978 penny is the golden goose? First, you'll want to grab a magnifying glass or, let's be honest, zoom in with your phone's camera. You're looking for a few things. This is key. Flip that penny over and check below the date. No letter means you might have a winner on your hands. Like I said earlier, the nicer the penny looks, the better. If it's got less wear than your favorite pair of jeans, we're in business. Pennies in the 1970s were made of copper, which means your penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. Anything less? Sorry, it's probably just pocket change. Now, before you go calling the bank and cashing out, remember that this is where the experts come in. You'll need to get your penny authenticated by a professional grader to confirm it's the real deal. Let me tell you, I've spent hours sifting through jars like these, convinced I was going to strike it rich. One time, I found what I thought was a rare no-mint mark penny, only to realize later I was looking at a stain. Yeah, turns out I just needed to clean my coins, not cash them in. So, don't make my mistake. So, do you have what it takes to become the next penny millionaire? I mean, imagine the bragging rights at your next family gathering. Oh, this? Yeah, I paid off my house with a penny. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just getting started, there's treasure hiding in your change. And don't forget, it's not just about old pennies. There are so many rare coins out there that could be worth way more than face value. You might be holding onto a small fortune without even knowing it. Seriously, imagine turning a penny into $855,000. That's right, folks. Today, we're diving into the mysterious, the legendary, the 1990 no mint Mark Lincoln cent asterisk. Stick around because by the end of this video, you're going to be rummaging through your couch cushions like a treasure hunter. Now, before you run to your car's cup holder to start digging, let's break down why this penny is such a big deal. Oh, and if you're a fan of finding hidden treasures in everyday items or you just want to fund your dream vacation with spare change, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. So, the 1990 Lincoln cent. What's the deal with this coin, and why could it be worth as much as a house? Well, it all comes down to a little missing detail. Normally, pennies made in Philadelphia should have a P mint mark. But if you find a 1990 penny without that mint mark, jackpot. You've got yourself a rare treasure. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, why would a missing mint mark make a penny worth more than my car? It's because mint marks are crucial in identifying where a coin was made. When a mistake like this happens, it's like the universe decided to sprinkle a little magic on a few coins. It's the coin collector's equivalent of finding an unopened pack of 90s Pokemon cards in your attic. I used to think my penny jar was just holding a future McDonald's coffee, but now, I'm reconsidering my life choices. And just how much are we talking? One of these 1990 no mint Mark Lincoln cents sold at auction for a whopping $855,000. That's right, you heard me. A little old penny sold for almost $1 million. Just think of all the avocado toast you could buy with that. Laughs, but here's the catch. Not every no mint mark penny is going to hit that jackpot. The condition of the coin is super important. Grading companies evaluate the wear and tear, and if your penny looks like it's been chilling in your back pocket for 30 years, well, let's just say it might be worth more as a good luck charm than a financial windfall. You know, funny story, my uncle swore he had one of these no mint mark pennies. He was so sure that he ran down to the local coin shop like he was Indiana Jones. They took one look at his penny and it was just a regular old penny. But hey, at least he got a free cup of coffee out of the deal. Moral of the story? It never hurts to check. So, here's your game plan. Go through your change, your piggy banks, that weird drawer where you throw random coins, and keep an eye out for those 1990 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark. Who knows? You could be sitting on a life-changing treasure, or at the very least, something to brag about at your next family barbecue. And if you find one, well, don't forget who gave you the idea, alright? Just kidding. Kinda. Before you go diving headfirst into your penny jar, hit that subscribe button for more tips on how to turn those everyday coins into cold, hard cash. I've got plenty more treasure hunting tricks up my sleeve, and who knows? Your next grocery run could fund your retirement. Alright, everyone, stop what you're doing, because that pile of old pennies you've got lying around might just make you rich. Yes, I said rich. We're talking over 800 grand for a penny. What if I told you that the humble 1992 D mint Mark Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $830,000 right now? Yup, you heard that right. This little guy points at Penny is a secret millionaire in disguise. So before you go tossing your change in the tip jar, you might want to stick around for this one. Trust me, you're going to want to hear this. So, let's get into the juicy details. Back in 1992, the US Mint made a little oopsie. A tiny mistake that turned some regular pennies into jackpot winners. The D mint mark on this Lincoln penny, yes, the one minted in Denver, has something special going on. And I mean like, rare special. We're talking your grandma's china but worth more than her house rare. Now, quick quiz. How many of you still have pennies lying around, collecting dust? Raise his hand, yeah, me too. I mean, let's be honest. Pennies are like those socks you lose in the laundry. You know they're somewhere, but you don't care enough to look for them. Well, after watching this, you're going to be tearing through every couch cushion and piggy bank you've ever touched. Alright, let's talk specifics. Here's what makes this 1992 D penny so valuable. Normally, the 1992 penny should have what's called a wide AM on the back, where the letters and M in the word America are spread apart like two kids on opposite sides of a school dance. But if you've got one where the A and M are super close together, like they're about to share secrets, then, my friend, you've hit the jackpot. That's known as a close AM variety. And this little minting error is what's driving collectors wild. I know what you're thinking. A penny is worth over $800,000 because two letters are snuggling on the back? Yup, it sounds ridiculous. But in the world of coin collecting, tiny mistakes like this are pure gold. Quick story. So last year, I was helping my uncle clean out his attic. We're sorting through boxes of random stuff, and of course, there's this jar of old coins. He's like, "Ah, they're just pennies. They're worthless." And I'm thinking, yeah, right, dude. You just chucked your college tuition. I made him promise to look through every single penny in that jar. Did he? No, because who listens to me, right? Moral of the story? Don't be my uncle. Look through your change. Alright, so how do you check if you've got the magical 1992 D penny with the close AM? First, grab a magnifying glass, or let's be real, just zoom in on your phone's camera because who has a magnifying glass anymore? Flip that penny over and check the spacing between the A and M in America. If they're close, congratulations, you might be sitting on a literal gold mine. Now, the current market value for a high-grade 1992 D close AM penny can go up to $830,000. But let me tell you, coin grading is key here. It's got to be in mint condition. Think of it like trying to sell an old phone. No cracks, no scratches, no sticky peanut butter residue from when you gave it to your kid to play with, right? You need it in pristine shape to fetch the big bucks. So, if yours is a little banged up, don't expect that full 830K, but it could still be worth a pretty penny, pun intended. Honestly, I'm starting to think that pennies are just really shy millionaires. They're sitting there all quiet, hiding in your pocket like, nah, don't worry about me. I'm just here minding my business. Meanwhile, they're secretly worth more than your car. Shakes head coins, man. What a wild world. So, what are you waiting for? Go find your old jars, your junk drawers, and your grandma's change stash. You might just stumble upon a penny that could change your life, and wouldn't that be a story to tell? And hey, if you're into these kinds of tips, where your old, forgotten stuff could make you some serious cash, then hit that subscribe button. I'm always dropping knowledge bombs on coins, collectibles, and strategies that could help you turn your spare change into a solid side hustle. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. I've got the scoop on some crazy valuable coins that people literally throw away. Yeah, it's wild out here, folks. What if I told you that a simple penny you might have in your pocket right now could be worth, wait for it, $810,000? Yup, we're talking about a 1997 D Mint Mark Lincoln cent. And I know what you're thinking. How can a penny be worth more than my car, my house, and maybe my entire retirement fund? Well, stick around because I'm about to break it all down for you. Who knew saving pennies could actually make you rich? Alright, so let's start with the basics. The 1997 Lincoln penny you're looking for has a little D on it, which stands for the Denver Mint. Now, normally this penny is worth a penny. Shocking, I know, but there's a specific, rare version of this coin that has collectors going absolutely bananas. And not the regular ripe bananas, like the fancy organic kind that cost $3 at Whole Foods. You get me? So what makes this penny so special? There was an error in the minting process. Now, coin errors are like nature's bloopers, except instead of giving you a good laugh, they give you a big fat payday. This particular 1997 D penny has an extremely rare error that collectors just can't get enough of. And trust me, these people will pay top dollar for something as small as a misplaced engraving or a double-struck die. It's like when you order a pizza and get 2 layers of extra cheese for free. Nobody's complaining. This particular error makes the penny one of a kind, and collectors, let me tell you, they love one-of-a-kinds. Now, here's where things get really interesting. In pristine condition, like if this penny never saw the light of day or your lint-filled pocket, the value could shoot up to $810,000. That's right, for something you might toss into the tip jar at Starbucks. Okay, quick story. A few years ago, I got curious about coins. I mean, who doesn't want to strike it rich from their spare change, right? So I went through this crazy phase where I'd check every single penny I came across. My wallet, my car, the sofa. Heck, I even raided my mom's penny jar. One day, I thought I hit the jackpot because I found an old-looking penny with the D mark. I was over the moon, calling my friends, getting ready to retire early, you know the drill. Then I had it checked out. Turns out it was worth exactly 1 cent. So close, yet so far. But hey, one of these days I'll get my $810,000 penny, right? So, how do you know if your 1997 D-Mint Mark penny is the golden ticket? First, you're going to want to check for any doubling or unusual features on the coin's lettering or Lincoln's face. Some coins might have a faint misalignment, or the date could appear doubled, and that's where the money is. Grab yourself a magnifying glass. If you don't already have one, trust me, you'll want to invest, because this hobby can pay off. Now, if you think you've found the magic penny, don't go straight to eBay just yet. Have it authenticated by a professional. You can't just tell someone, hey, I think this is worth $810,000, and expect them to believe you. That's like me trying to convince you that pineapple belongs on pizza. It's a hard sell, folks. But seriously, there are professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC that'll check out your coin and give you an official grade. So, are you feeling lucky? Are you about to dump out every jar of pennies you've got stashed in the back of your closet? I'm right there with you. Who knows? Maybe you've got an $810,000 fortune just sitting there, waiting to be discovered. If you're serious about making money from your old coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll keep bringing you the latest tips, tricks, and strategies on finding rare, valuable coins. And remember, next time someone tells you, it's just a penny, you can smile and think, maybe, but it could also be my ticket to a cool $810,000. Now get out there, and may the coin gods be ever in your favor. You find a penny, not just any penny, a 2002 D Lincoln cent that could be worth up to $800,000. Yeah, I know, sounds crazy, right? But guess what? I'm not kidding. That little copper-colored coin could literally change your life, turning a penny into a house, or even your dream vacation. Today, we're talking all about the 2002 D Lincoln cent and why this seemingly ordinary coin is now making collectors lose their minds and wallets. But before we dive into the details, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, so you never miss out on more tips for turning your loose change into loose cash. So, let's get to the bottom of this penny drama. The 2002 D Lincoln penny was minted in, yep, you guessed it, Denver, marked with the famous D Mint mark. More than 3.3 billion, yes, with a B, of these pennies were minted that year, so what makes one of them so special? Let's start with what this penny's made of. By 2002, most Lincoln pennies were made with a copper-plated zinc core. Not the fanciest material, right? But it's not always what a coin is made of that matters. In this case, it's the tiny little minting errors, or as collectors like to call them, happy accidents, that could send the value of this penny skyrocketing. The most sought-after version of the 2002 D penny comes with a rare and significant minting error. It's all about the die strike, when something goes wrong during the minting process, leaving the coin with a strange, rare anomaly. It could be a double die error, a misaligned strike, or even a rare over-polished die that gives the coin its distinct and valuable look. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but $800,000 for a penny? Well, that's where things get wild. The rarity of this error, combined with the condition of the coin, if it's in mint state, makes collectors willing to pay insane prices for it. Asterisk, there was recently a huge auction where a 2002 D penny sold for, wait for it, $800,000. Yeah, that's right. A tiny 1-cent piece turned into a small fortune. Now, to be clear, not every 2002 D penny is going to make you a millionaire. But finding one with that rare minting error in nearly perfect condition could easily net you thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, this reminds me of a time when I was a kid, and I used to collect pennies like they were gold. I'd be sitting on my bedroom floor, dumping out a jar of coins, hoping to find something special. And what did I find? Mostly gum wrappers, a few dimes, and one Canadian penny. Talk about a letdown. Faced with tears of joy, but if I'd known then what I know now, I would have been taking those pennies way more seriously. Imagine finding one of these $800,000 babies and having your parents tell you to put it back in the jar for ice cream money. Yikes. As of right now, the market for rare pennies is hot. Coin collectors and auction houses are paying top dollar for error coins, especially if they're in uncirculated condition. Even if you don't find the holy grail of 2002 D pennies, Lesser error versions can still fetch you anywhere from $50 to $1,000. That's a pretty good return on your 1 cent investment, don't you think? So, next time you're handed some change at the store, don't just toss it in your cup holder. Take a second and check those pennies. All right, my fellow penny enthusiasts, now it's your turn to dig through those jars, wallets, and couch cushions. You never know when a rare 2002 D penny could be hiding, waiting to turn your spare change into life-changing cash. Have you ever heard the saying, "A penny saved is a penny earned"? Well, what if I told you a penny saved could actually be worth a whopping $781,000? Yup. Today we're talking about a specific 2005 Lincoln 1 cent penny that has NO mint mark and how it might just change your life. So grab your coin jar and start digging, because you might be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. So here's the deal. You're looking for a 2005 Lincoln penny that looks totally normal, until you realize it doesn't have that little mint mark under the date. Now, most pennies have a tiny letter under the year, either a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. But this one, it's blank. Nada. Nothing. And that's where the magic happens. This is one of those times when missing something is actually a good thing. Like if you forget to pack a lunch but end up at a buffet. Yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, but why is this penny worth so much? Well, it's all about rarity, folks. Somehow, a small batch of these pennies slipped through the minting process without being stamped with a mint mark. It's a total fluke, and coin collectors go wild for rare errors like this. I mean, who wouldn't? It's like finding a hidden Easter egg in your pocket change. Now, the crazy part is that this particular penny has been valued at, wait for it, $781,000. Yeah, for a penny. And I know what you're thinking. How do I get in on this action? Well, there's more to it than just a missing mint mark. Condition matters, too. You see, coin collectors are picky. They want a penny that's shiny, crisp, and has barely been touched. It's kind of like trying to sell a car, but the car has never been driven. The fewer scratches, the better. And let me tell you, it's not easy to keep a penny in mint condition. I remember once, back in my college days, I was convinced I had a rare coin. I found this old penny in a drawer, got all excited, and spent days carefully inspecting it, trying not to breathe on it like it was some ancient artifact. Turns out it was just a regular penny from 1992, worth exactly 1 cent. I'll never get those hours of my life back. But hey, it could have been a win, right? And maybe your story will have a better ending. Okay, so let's talk about the juicy part, the current market value. As of right now, the 2005 no mint mark Lincoln penny is valued at $781,000. That's right. Someone out there is ready to pay big bucks for this little copper coin. Why such a high price, you ask? Well, it's simple. Supply and demand. The fewer there are, the more collectors want them. And collectors, well, they're willing to drop serious cash for the rarest finds. It's like trying to get Taylor Swift tickets, but for coin nerds. They're in high demand, and the people who really want them will pay anything to get their hands on one. Now, before you go selling off every 2005 penny you own, let's set some expectations. Not every no mint mark penny is worth the big bucks. Like I said earlier, condition is key. If your penny looks like it's been through a washing machine, well, maybe not $781,000. But it could still fetch a decent amount, depending on its condition. So, there you have it, folks. A simple penny that could be worth more than most people's homes. All because of a little mistake at the US Mint. Now's your chance. Check your pockets, your piggy banks, under your couch cushions. You never know where a treasure like this could be hiding. Well, hold on. What if I told you that a 2007 D mint mark Lincoln penny, yup, one of those regular-looking pennies, could be worth a whopping $772,000, that's right. A penny could be your ticket to early retirement. Imagine this. You're digging through some loose change, and bam, you've got a little fortune in your hand. Pretty wild, right? Stick around because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this incredible penny and how you could cash in. But first, let's get a quick reality check. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Don't worry, we've all been guilty of tossing them in a jar and forgetting about them. But after today's video, trust me, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Alright, let's get into the juicy details. First off, what's the deal with the 2007 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny? Why is it so special, and why in the world would someone pay nearly $1 million for it? The D on this penny stands for Denver. Now, before you think all Denver minted pennies are worth a fortune, let me clarify. This penny stands out because of its condition. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, fancy word, right, are obsessed with finding pennies in what's called mint state. That's just a fancy way of saying they're in near-perfect condition, almost like they were never even touched by human hands. No scratches, no wear and tear, nothing. Now, let me paint you a picture. Imagine back in 2007, someone got this penny as change from a gas station, then tucked it away in their car's cup holder. But instead of tossing it into the change jar, they forgot about it for years. One day, they find it, dust it off, and bam! It's in such pristine condition that it's now worth $772,000. Talk about finding treasure in your own car. So, you might be asking, why this specific penny? Well, the value comes down to a few key things. Like I said, if it's in mint state condition, you're already in luck. The fewer of these pennies still in near-perfect condition, the more valuable they become. So, if you happen to have one that's barely been circulated, you've hit the jackpot. Sometimes coins have little mistakes or errors during the minting process. These can make them even more valuable. Think of it as a factory defect that collectors are dying to get their hands on. Oh, the irony. Who knew mistakes could be worth so much? And here's the kicker. There's a huge demand for pennies like this right now. Thanks to online auctions, the bidding wars for rare pennies have reached some seriously crazy heights. $772,000 is the latest sale price for one of these gems, and let me tell you, that's a life-changing asterisk amount of money for what most people see as pocket change. Now, speaking of looking through your change, let me tell you a quick story about a time I almost missed out on a valuable coin. One day, I was at my grandma's house, helping her clean out the attic. She hands me a jar of old coins and says, "Do something with these." So, like the brilliant mind I am, I dumped them all into a Coinstar machine without even looking at them. That's right, I just fed a potential gold mine to a machine for a few dollars in cash. Little did I know, there was a rare penny in there that I could have sold for a couple $1,000. I'm still haunted by that catching noise from the machine. Learn from my mistakes, people. Alright, coin collectors, penny pinchers, and everyone in between, that's it for today's video. If you're not already checking your pennies after this, you're missing out. The next time you get one in your change, give it a good look. Who knows? You could be sitting on a $772,000 payday just waiting to happen. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could turn your change into big bucks, did you know that your pocket change might be hiding a treasure worth a whopping $755,000? Yep, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the mysterious world of the 2013 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, which, surprisingly, isn't just a shiny piece of copper, but a ticket to a whole new financial adventure. So, stick around, and let's get rich one penny at a time. Alright, let's jump in. First things first, what exactly is a 2013 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny? Well, mint marks are those little letters you see on coins that tell you where they were made. For the 2013 pennies, they were primarily produced in the Philadelphia Mint, which, fun fact, is like the mothership of all things coin-related. But here's the twist. Some of those pennies came without the mint mark. That's right, folks. No, P means rarity, and rarity means money, big money. Now, you might be wondering, how did this penny get so valuable? Well, it turns out that not many of these little guys are out there, which makes collectors go a bit bananas. In fact, the current market value is around $755,000. I mean, that's enough to buy you a small island or at least a very nice boat. Just imagine, you could be sailing into the sunset, waving goodbye to your 9-to-5 job, all thanks to a penny. Speaking of personal experiences, let me tell you a little story. I once found a coin while cleaning out my couch. Yes, my couch. It was a weird-looking penny with this funny S on it. Turns out, it was just a 2009 penny from the territory of Guam. Not quite a treasure, but it did give me a good laugh. I thought I'd stumbled upon my retirement plan until I Googled it and realized it was worth about a whole 1 cent. But hey, you never know what you'll find when you dig into your pocket change, right? Now, let's talk about how you can spot one of these elusive 2013 no-mint mark pennies. First, check your change, your piggy bank, or even your grandma's old coin collection. She might have stashed some gold. Look for that shiny copper color and inspect the back for the absence of the P mint mark. If you find one, you might just want to give it a hug. Just make sure no one sees you or you'll have some explaining to do. But wait, there's more. If you're lucky enough to find one, it's essential to store it properly. Avoid throwing it back in your pocket, where it can rub elbows with all those other, less exciting coins. Keep it safe in a coin holder or a flip, something that won't scratch it up. Treat it like the little treasure it is. And if you're looking to sell, do your research first. Check out online auctions or coin shows to find the best deal. Remember, knowledge is power, and power equals money. If you've ever found a penny in your couch cushions and thought, meh, it's just a penny, you might want to think again, especially if it's a 2016 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Spoiler alert, this little guy could be worth a jaw-dropping $730,000. Yep, you heard me right. That's not a typo. But don't go raiding your neighbor's piggy bank just yet. Stick around because I'm going to share how this penny came to be a collector's dream and what to look for in your own coin stash. So, what makes the 2016 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny so special? To start, let's talk about what no-mint mark means. Usually, pennies have a little P or D stamped on them to show where they were made, Philadelphia or Denver, respectively. But the 2016 no-mint mark penny? It doesn't have either. This rarity adds a lot of value because, well, collectors love a good mystery. It's like finding out your favorite cereal has a secret toy inside. Except in this case, it's a treasure worth more than some of my relatives' entire collection of cat figurines. Now, you might be wondering, how the heck do I find one of these shiny beauties? Well, first things first, check your change. I remember one time, I found a penny while cleaning out my car. At first, I thought it was just a dirty old penny, and I almost tossed it in the trash like last week's leftovers. But then I thought, wait a minute, what if this penny is the key to my future fortune? So, I pulled out my trusty magnifying glass, yes, I have one, and started inspecting it like I was some sort of coin detective. Turns out it was just a regular penny. But you never know. So, after you check your couch cushions, your car, and maybe your grandma's old coin jar, it's time to learn how to value your find. The market for coins fluctuates like my diet during the holidays. 1 minute, you're on top of the world with a 730K penny, and the next, you're knee-deep in holiday cookies wondering what happened. Make sure you look at auction sites, local coin shops, or even social media groups dedicated to coin collecting. There's a whole community out there ready to help you understand the ins and outs of coin values. And trust me, it's more fun than a night in with your favorite TV show. Sorry, Netflix. But here's the kicker. Always get your coins appraised by a professional if you think you've hit the jackpot. There's nothing worse than finding out you sold a rare penny for a cup of coffee. Speaking of which, if any baristas are watching this, I hope you're paying attention. I want my coffee with a side of rare coin. Please. So, to recap, check your pennies. Keep your eyes peeled for that elusive 2016 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. And don't underestimate what's hiding in your spare change. You never know when a little penny could turn into a big paycheck. And hey, if you learned something today, or at least got a chuckle out of my couch story, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Join our community of fellow treasure seekers for more tips and strategies on finding coins worth money. Trust me, you won't want to miss our next adventure in the wild world of coin collecting. We're diving into something that'll make your wallets tingle and your pockets jingle. So grab that old change jar from under your bed, the one that's practically a shrine to forgotten pennies. Because we're about to talk about a particular penny that's more valuable than your cousin's latest cryptocurrency investment. Yes, you heard me right. Today, we're shining the spotlight on the 2017 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, worth a jaw-dropping $720,000. That's right, this little copper coin is making some serious waves in the market. And if you don't believe me, stick around because we're going to explore its story, how to spot it, and maybe a little tale from my own life that'll remind you why it's worth checking your change. First off, let's talk about why this penny is special. In 2017, the US Mint produced pennies with and without mint marks. Most of them came from the Philadelphia Mint, which typically puts a P on the coin. But hold your horses. The 2017 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny didn't get that little P, making it a rare bird indeed. Think of it as the unicorn of pennies. Everyone wants to find one, but only a lucky few ever do. Now, how do you spot this rare gem? Look for a regular 2017 Lincoln penny that's missing the P mark. It'll be a little shiny, perhaps with some fingerprints or coffee stains. Don't ask me how I know. And if you're like me, you might have some embarrassing stories involving coins. Just the other day, I was cleaning out my couch cushions because who doesn't want to find the lost treasures of their lazy Sunday? As I was rummaging around, I pulled out a handful of change, and there it was, a penny. I thought, great, I can buy a gumball. But after doing some research, I realized that this penny could have been worth a fortune if I had just checked it better. My couch has claimed another victim. So, remember, folks, don't let your couch eat your money. Now, if you're lucky enough to have one of these rare pennies, congratulations. You might just be sitting on a small fortune. The current market value is about $720,000, but that's not set in stone. It could go up or down based on demand, condition, and, well, a sprinkle of good luck. Don't fret. Collecting coins is like hunting for treasure. Sometimes you find gold, and other times you find, well, a lot of pocket lint. It's all about enjoying the journey. Plus, there are tons of other coins out there with surprising values. So, even if you don't have the holy grail of pennies, your change jar might just hold another hidden gem. Asterisk as we wrap this up, let's recap the magic of the 2017 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. If you happen to stumble upon this coin in your collection, you might want to sit down, because you could be looking at a windfall. And even if you don't, remember that the thrill of the hunt is what makes this hobby fun. So what are you waiting for? Dive into those old coins, check under the couch cushions, and you might just find something worth more than your last online shopping spree. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that subscribe button. Join our coin-loving family for more tips on coins worth money and strategies to turn your spare change into treasure.